Welcome to the club. We're all unique and chosen by God. If you're African, your superpower is your black skin. Be proud.
Now, let's get to the video.
When people ask, who is the greatest black African leader of all time, the answers usually come quickly. Names, titles, presidents, revolutionaries, but almost no one pauses to ask a quieter question. What do we actually mean by great? Is it power? Is it how long someone ruled? Is it how feared they were or how loudly history remembers them? Because history remembers many men, but it does not admire all of them. Pause. When historians speak about the Prophet Muhammad as a leader, they rarely begin with empire. They begin with character. Who was he before power? Who did he become after power? How did he treat family, enemies, followers, and truth itself? So today, instead of ranking leaders by dominance, we're doing something different. We're borrowing a leadership lens that has survived 14 centuries, not as a religious argument, but as a moral measurement. Integrity before influence, humility after recognition, courage without cruelty, faith without ego. If we measure black leadership using that standard, the conversation changes, because greatness stops being loud and starts being honest. So the question becomes, what kind of leader remains whole when comfort, safety, and approval are taken away? Pause. To answer that, we must look carefully at our giants and be brave enough to measure them evenly. So black history is not short on heroes. Nelson Mandela taught the world forgiveness. Thomas Sankara taught Africa dignity. Kwame Nkrumah taught vision beyond borders. Marcus Garvey taught pride in self-definition. Each one carried something necessary. But carrying something importantis, not the same as carrying everything at once. Mandela's moral authority shines brightest after prison, after suffering reshaped him. Before that, his leadership was still forming. Sankara lived simply and spoke bravely. But his revolution ended before it could mature into permanence. Garvey awakened millions, but his movement collapsed under ego and poor execution. And Nkrumah dreamed of unity, but power slowly pulled him away from the people he wanted to serve. These men mattered deeply, but prophetic leadership, the kind that endures, requires a rare balance. Public strength and private discipline, vision and humility, faith and self-critique. The Prophet Muhammad led his household with the same ethics he led society. He corrected himself publicly. He refused privilege. He chose truth even when it isolated him. So now the question sharpens. Among black leaders, especially in the modern world, who came closest to that balance? Who was willing to lose everything rather than live a lie? Pause. There is one name that still makes people uncomfortable, not because he was violent, but because he was honest. Malcolm X never asked to be admired. In fact, he changed so openly that many people abandoned him, and that is precisely why history keeps listening. Before fame, he disciplined himself. Before applause, he educated himself. Before certainty, he questioned himself. When he discovered that the movement he served was built on falsehood, he did not negotiate comfort. He walked away. No money, no protection, no guarantees. That decision alone places him among the rarest leaders in history, because most leaders cling to platforms. Malcolm X walked away from his. When faith deepened him, he did not replace hatred with silence, he replaced it with clarity. He spoke about black dignity without turning it into black supremacy. He named oppression without dehumanizing people. That balance is rare. Like prophetic leaders before him, he allowed growth to correct him, publicly. No rebranding, no spin, just truth. He knew the cost, and he accepted it. So we must ask ourselves, how many leaders are brave enough to outgrow the version of themselves that made them famous? Pause. Malcolm X was. Malcolm X died young, yet his voice grew older. That tells us something. In the past, he restored self-definition to a people taught to doubt their worth. In the present, he remains uncomfortable, because he refuses to flatter power. And in the future, he will be rediscovered again and again by those who demand dignity without begging for it. Like the Prophet Muhammad, he did not leave monuments, he left principles, and principles travel further than power. History remembers kings, but humanity remembers conscience. So when leadership is measured not by control, not by dominance, but by moral endurance across time, the conclusion becomes clear. Malcolm X stands as the greatest black leader of the modern world, not because he was perfect, but because he chose truth over safety. And that is the kind of greatness that survives the past, speaks to the present, and waits patiently for the future. Pause. The question is no longer who ruled the most. The question is who remained whole when it mattered most.
Like, follow, and share this with every member of the club.